I didn't get the second note. There we go. Oh boy.
Let's get it cracking. Welcome to a disappointing episode of the Uncensored Philly Sports Podcast. You got Wayne, Ephraim, and Tim. Who knows? Ethan pops in sometimes. He handling business. This is a disappointing loss. Right now, the Nets came in. They handled business. The Nets looked like they came in. They had a chip on their shoulder. They're playing for their playoff lives, and they wanted to send a message, and they sent it. And nobody except for Joel Embiid on this team showed any kind of heart to start this game off. Harden, we've been giving Harden all this praise, and me included, giving him all the praise about how he's passing the ball, getting everybody. The Nets was in his head. He even had open shots he was missing. Even when his shots was open, he was driving to the basket looking for the bailout. They wasn't giving it. They knew his game. Yeah. So that being said, it's one game, so I'm not going to overly panic it. I'm not panicky about it, but this was a disappointing game, and I put a lot of this on Harden. We gave him a lot of praise. Harden got to carry the brunt of this of the fault for this.
I mean, I agree with that. I agree with Fair at FXL. He said this joint had me pissed. I agree. I'm real irritated. Herb said, I told y'all. I mean, you told us what? This honestly, first of all, it's one game. Let's not get carried away. We're gonna analyze this game, but let's keep it in perspective. It's only one game. It's a game that the Nets was hot. They shot 60% or ended with 50-some% from the floor. At the most crucial point in the game, they was up to like 65% they was shooting. They was hot. Kyrie wasn't missing. KD wasn't missing. The garbage balls wasn't missing. That's how you know it's a problem when you got even the scrub balls kind of hitting.
Exactly. And off the bench, they still was all stroking.
Exactly. And the flip side of that, we ended up with shooting 32% for the game. I mean, Harden was way off. The bull Maxey was barely even shooting. When he was shooting, he was shooting air balls. I agree with Wayne. B was the only one who was playing. He was getting hacked. He was trying. He ended up with a bad shooting night, but he was ultimately he gave it the most heart out of anybody tonight. And I was disappointed in Maxey's. I don't see. This is where I blame the coach though, because when we were talking about this earlier before we started, you got to attack somebody like a Seth Curry. So, we know Seth Curry is the defensive liability. So why aren't you attacking Seth as a coach? Why aren't you telling Maxey, yo, take this ball and abuse him? You faster him. Whoever Seth Curry is on, take advantage of his weak defense. This is what you got to be doing. I think Doc took it easy on his son-in-law. He ain't want to embarrass the boy. His wife, take it easy on my baby and all this. Man, forget all that. Yo, this boy, he whacked on defense. Abuse that. But all in all, it's only one game. We'll talk about it some more, but it's not registering that much on my radar. By the time the playoffs start, this game is going to be a small blip in history.
Everybody got their thing off? Is it me yet?
No, Tim ain't talked yet, but go ahead.
Go ahead.
All right. This game was worrisome. I know y'all saying it's one game, but it's to me it's very worrisome. When you look at this, the three playoff teams that we played Boston right after the trade. We lost by 50. We played Miami last week and we lost by 17. And
we played Cleveland. And we played Cleveland. Yeah. So you don't want to count that one, though. But go ahead.
Please, nobody interrupt nobody. Just let me get
because you said the three playoff teams. Talk about the four playoff teams.
I'm talking about the losses that we got. We lost by 29 points today, almost 30.
We didn't have Harden with Boston.
Big three times we lost to playoff teams. That's concerning because just one player should not dictate that we lose by 30, 40 points. So I mean, we gave up a lot to get Harden. And today he didn't give us what we needed from him at all. And so my thing is are we getting playoff or like Ethan said, Weber Harden? Are we getting somebody that's not really like he's trailing off? I don't know. But so far tonight don't look too good.
I'm with Tim. I don't want to hear his one game. Everybody knew coming in. Sixers knew, Nets knew this was a measuring stick game. You had 2 days off to get ready for this game. This is the biggest game of the year right now. We all know this going in. This is the measuring stick game. Nets was ready. They came in. They knew this going in. The whole team knew this. All is just one game. Now listen, you lose, all right. The way you lost, the way you got dismantled, this one game is just trying to help y'all keep your heads up. We got smacked around. I ain't see no fight in this team. The third quarter, they quit. They quit on us. They wasn't playing no basketball. Where's the coach at? Embiid was trying to play one-on-one ball almost the whole game. No team basketball going on. Yeah, he went to the foul line 19 times, but it ain't matter. It ain't matter at all. They straight destroyed us. They destroyed us. They took everything we had and they gave it right back.
There's one game.
I don't want to hear this. I don't want to hear this. We had 2 games. Every other time it's always an excuse. It was a back-to-back. It was this. No, we had 2 days off to prepare for this team and got smacked.
So what you saying that if this is the same, we're gonna get blown out in the playoffs every time if we face the Nets, this is gonna happen.
Like if we look like that, we will.
So that's my point. You think we're gonna look like that every game?
I don't know.
First of all, like I said, I done seen teams in the finals get blown out in the game and come back and win the finals. So I'm not. This don't concern me.
What encourages you about this team?
It was off night. Listen, the Nets shot well.
The Nets have better shooters.
The Nets shot well. We shot bad. They shot almost 60%. We shot 30%. We had open looks. The boy, whatchamacallit, was missing shots. What's his name? Niang had open shots early on. He was bricking. The boy Maxey was shooting doggone their air balls, and he's shooting at 40%, over 40% three, and like 60% three since Harden's been here. So we had an off night. That's all it is. I mean, they won. They did what they're supposed to do. They came out and shot, played well, and they won. Clap, clap.
Listen, we already know what it's going to be. It's going to be the people that wanted to question the Harden trade, like Herb and Ethan and Tim.
Yep.
Just they going to be in their bag now. See, I told you, all the other games don't matter, but this one game matter because what Tim fails to mention is we beat Chicago, who is one of the top teams in the East. We also beat Cleveland, but he only wants to count. He's going back to talking about Boston when we didn't even have Harden. He wants to include those games, but not this. As an overall, bro, like it was a bad game. Now, if they continue to play like this and Harden stinks it up like this in a few games, I hear you. I got you. But don't come on here after no one game. Like when Harden was sitting here and putting up double-doubles, dropping 25 and 12 and 14. Now you couldn't say that. Now it's like, see, I told y'all. Like, I don't want to hear that crap. It's one game.
So the Nets aren't the top team. You was like, we beat Cleveland, who's the top team. If the Nets had all their players all year. Yeah,
and it was a bad game. They played a bad game. The Nets, and like I said, in my opinion, the Nets came out here with a point to prove. They're playing for their playoff lives. They wanted to stick it to Harden, and Harden didn't bring the same intensity. So if you want to tell me,
we ain't have a point to prove either. Harden not bringing intensity. That's not an issue to you.
Who didn't? Who had a point to prove over here?
We did. Harden did. The Sixers did. B did.
Why? What was the point that the Sixers had to prove?
That we're better without Ben. That's the point they had to prove.
But they already won like 5 games without Ben. So, I mean, I hear what you're saying, but if you're telling me, if you think Seth Curry coming home after he just got traded, Drummond coming home after he just got traded, the rest of the Nets team looking at Harden because he quit on them and wanted to come here, they were inspired to play. And that's not saying that they're not a good players and good team. Kyrie and KD putting up points like that. Listen, they was doing their thing. The biggest problem we had was Harden didn't carry his end of the, and we give Maxey all the props and all the praise when and he the third best of three-headed monster. We only had Embiid actually even trying the ball, and I'm not putting it on Embiid playing one-on-one ball. Wasn't nobody else doing it. What do you want him to do? It's funny because I hear some people talking about, and Embiid was shining from the moment. He was giving the ball up too much. And then I hear some people saying Embiid was being selfish. Like, what you want that man to do? He the only one that came in here to ball.
Brendan Stokes says when are we ever going to shoot 28% again? We never shot this bad. KD and Kyrie were on God level tonight, and our guys look bullied. This game doesn't end our season. Seth Curry looked like the chef out there. I agree with a lot of that. That was my whole point from the beginning, Brandon. I'm not sky is falling, chicken little like Ethan and Tim and Herb and all these other bulls who just want to be happy that they feel they made their point. Your point won't be made into the playoffs. If the Nets even get in, who knows? As far as we know, Kyrie might get another injury again. or whatever, or decide to take a vacation,
So you
and they won't get in.
You open for injury for us?
No, I'm just saying. So how many seasons has Kyrie finished? That's all I'm asking you. Y'all boys is panicking like this. Is what I'm saying.
Half the game, so he's pretty healthy. I mean, it's not like he's been playing. He's the most
player out there right now. And what happened last year? He didn't play the whole season last year neither, did he?
But you act like Kyrie.
I'm just saying
they can give you this every night. They can do this every night.
Can they?
Yeah, they can.
I'm just saying what happened in the playoffs last year.
Kyrie didn't play, but I'm saying, hold on. When they use like they were godly tonight, when they play, when KD and Kyrie can do this every night when they play, right or wrong. So KD,
he
only had 25.
So KD shot 60%. He shoots 60% for the year from the field.
I think he's shooting 50% from the year.
Yeah, but I said 60. He shot 60% tonight.
That's not that far.
Seth Curry shot 71% field goal. You think he's going to do that every night?
I said KD and Kyrie can do this every night.
But KD and Kyrie wasn't always the X factor. I said everybody was splashing. Seth Curry shot 71% field goal. You want to see that again? Okay, but put your money on that.
But
put your money on that.
When you have to worry about KD and Kyrie and they pass.
No, you don't. You don't. Steph Curry ain't shoot 71% all year with them, and they had KD and Kyrie.
All right.
He ain't shoot 71% all year. It's the first game he shot 71%. So he was hot. He had a good game. The whatchamacallit didn't expose him. So Doc took it easy on him. Glenn, I'm going back to Glenn now because he kind of irritated me. He took it easy on his son-in-law, the baby, and didn't expose him. He should have exposed him, but he didn't. And I got a major problem with that.
All right. My major problem is that everybody played bad today. I'm not nobody, including Joel Embiid. I'm just looking hard.
Embiid played good.
Harden midway through the second quarter, he was 1 for 12. He was stinking it up. He gave us nothing. Embiid was a little bit too hype. He was a little bit too amped for the game.
No, he wasn't. You got to bring that energy. He kept us in the game, bro.
Something to prove, and he didn't stay in the structure of the offense. When you do one-on-one, a lot of isolation, that hurts the team. You got to play within a team concept. He didn't do that.
Hey, Starscream, he finished the last 3 seasons. Joel Embiid did, and Phil, I'm not hoping for injury or nobody. I'm stating the facts. Okay, please, somebody tell me when the last time Kyrie finished the season, throughout the season in the playoffs. This is all I'm saying. I'm stating the facts. I'm not saying he's going to get hurt. I'm not saying I'm wishing him to get hurt. I'm telling you his history. So don't go mention Embiid. Embiid played the last 3 playoff years and played all the games. He played the year Ben Simmons was out and we got swept by Celtics. He played the year before that when we lost in the playoffs to Toronto with Jimmy Butler. He played last year when we lost to Atlanta in the playoffs. So what are you talking about, Starscream? How at me now? Don't know what they're talking about. People talking don't know what they're talking about.
Are you still as confident? Did the confidence go down just a little bit?
Yeah.
No, I still say it's a game. No.
Yes.
No, I am being honest. No. No. I'm not worried. I'm still not worried.
It's not a little crack, Wayne. It's not a little crack.
No, because I'm not tall. Y'all scared little chickens. Y'all scared little chickens. Every game, and it's like the sky is falling.
3 years ago, Starscream, in 2022.
It's way. There's a lot.
Listen. First of all, y'all hope that's like Ethan even came up with the phrase Weber Harden, and then Tim jumped on it. See, Weber Harden had one bad game. See, we got Weber Harden. Like, he involved all these games. He had a bad game this game, and now all of a sudden he's Weber Harden.
Yeah, last year he was Chris Paul.
Hold up, and Tim couldn't wait. He couldn't wait. See, and B got out the scheme of the game. What do you want that man to do if nobody else? They're triple teaming him in there, playing physical, and nobody else is hitting the shot.
Not tonight. There was no.
What are you talking about? Not tonight. What are you talking about?
Not being triple team.
He went to Wayne.
What do you watch? What do you watch?
Don't do it.
Was they triple team?
What is he watching?
He forced it a little. He was forced in the beginning. I said that too. You could see he was trying to force it a little bit. I mean, I think as a good coach should have got everything under control. And I don't want to come at Doc, but y'all know how I feel like about Doc sometimes. Doc, to me, sometimes let his teams go rogue, especially since he has veteran players. Sometimes you gotta pull your team. You've seen it slipping away. Everybody's seen it slipping away. You should have called a timeout, pulled your team together, and said, "Listen, try to settle these dudes down, ran some plays, You know what I mean? Maybe got Harden in inside, but Harden looked very. I don't know what was going on with him tonight. I don't know if that clubbing just caught up to him from the other day in Miami, but he looked very old. He was getting his shots beat up. His timing was off. His shot was off. He was turning the ball over at a high rate. He looked bad tonight.
Yeah, he didn't look sharp at all. I had to agree. He didn't look sharp. Like I said, nobody looked sharp. Tobias started hitting some threes after the game was out of hand, him and Niang. Toby let me down one yet again. I don't know why I'm surprised by what Toby going to do. Yet again, he comes up lame when you would think this is the game where Bede is getting double, triple team, Harden's off, Maxey's not being aggressive. You would think this is the game that Tobias would come to our rescue. Wrong.
He got crossed over by Durant twice in the game. Just killing it.
Harden defense looked terrible tonight too, by the way.
But listen. I'm not saying Joel had a great game, but if you're telling me, all right, I exaggerated, said triple team. If you're telling me he was not getting double team,
he was getting double and triple. A couple
triple
teams.
Watching the game. Down low.
No,
double team.
Yes, he did.
Then you're not watching the game. Then you were not watching the game. Seth Curry came down and went out. KD dropped down here a couple times. Nobody worried about Thibault the whole time. And I'm sorry, it was so many comments I couldn't go back up there and look. But somebody mentioned it. The Sixers looked like they were standing around watching. Like Maxey. Where was this aggressive Maxey at? And I guess Harden couldn't give him the prep talk in the second half because Harden was stinking it up.
Somebody should told Harden, you going to play in the second half. You playing on someone else.
Come on, bro. I ain't saying Bede had no great game, but let's keep it a bean. And Bede was the only one that came out there and showed any kind of desire to play. He got Drummond in foul trouble in the first half, and then like I said, he had no help tonight. And this is what Harden is supposed to be here for.
But I told y'all my problem was the Nets was always deeper than us. You know what I mean? And when it came down to putting in some bench players and try to keep that, we just couldn't keep up. There's nothing we could do to keep up. They had Patty Mills stroking, and Patty Mills is a shooter. It ain't like this is some mirage. Something he don't do.
He's a shooter. I agree. He's a shooter.
They backup point guard Dragic came in, so they get deeper in us.
I agree with you with that. I mean, I agree with you. You said that earlier. I thought we could have strengthened the depth of our bench with a boy like Dragic, possibly, or somebody else in the buyout market. I don't think that whatchamacallit move was enough. That DeAndre Jordan move, I don't think that was enough to deepen our bench. And Piper 23, you're right. I am in my feelings because people saying stuff that's irritating me. People saying stuff that's irritating me. That's why I'm getting mad because people saying stuff. People overreact. It's overreaction at 10 minutes after the game. And I understand y'all mad. I'm mad. This is the most irritated I've been watching Sixers games since Game 7 last year. I'm extremely irritated. Shout out to you, Sir Wesley. I know your Hawks ain't doing good, but I appreciate you still tuning in, even though you ain't necessarily a Sixers fan. So big shout out to you. But I'm irritated. I'm irritated, but I'm trying to keep it in perspective. It's like I said, I've saw playoff games and finals games where teams got waxed, then came back to win the finals or even make it a competitive series. So I'm not the sky's falling. We're going to get swept by the Nets if we see them. They're lowered in the first round, all this. I'm not there. I'm not there. So I expect us to regroup, rebound. I don't expect another with Harden have 11 points. Maxey had less. I don't even think Maxey had double digits. I don't expect that to happen again if we play the Nets. I really don't. So
what I want to know is if we come out and we beat the Bucks when we play the Bucks, are the same people going to say, "Oh, the Bucks can't do nothing with us"? See, we got the Bucks. No, they're not going to say that. Because it's like, this is what we do. Typical Philly fans is like, we waiting for the sky to fall because we don't want to get in and enjoy the moment. We know Tim and Herb got their own agenda because they happy to see Ben sitting on the sideline with his Christmas tree and gold chains like Hercules.
Yeah.
They was happy to see Ben out there. That's all.
No, I feel as if I don't feel as confident as I did like a week ago after that Miami loss. When we lost to Miami, I didn't like how we lost to Miami because I felt they really dominated us. And then after this game, I'm telling you, now I'm almost regretting that trade. I'm almost regretting the trade.
You was regretting it from the beginning. Stop.
The fact that we gave up so much. And now, before I was like, okay, we had a strong chance to win the title. I don't know right now. I don't know. The way we looked against the last 3 dominant performances by Boston, Miami, and then the Brooklyn.
Hey, Tim, You do know that we played Milwaukee since we played Boston, though, right? And we beat Milwaukee. But you keep going back to that. See, this is what I'm saying. You skipping around and picking and choose what games to talk about.
We beat Milwaukee with Harden, or was that before the trade?
That was before the trade.
But we lost to Boston before the trade too. So if you want to count the Boston game, if you want to count Boston, then count Milwaukee.
You can learn more. I'm learning more from the losses than a win. So from these losses, they don't look good.
Just pick the losses out and decipher those.
Once again, Tim crawls up out of his hole that he's been, in for the last week, 2 weeks since we got Harden. Now, one game, it manifests itself, and here he come. He come pouncing back out again. The way we're losing. Huh? I'm sorry, we lost one game. The way we lost, you mean?
The way we lost to Miami. The way we lost.
Harden ain't playing Miami game though.
It doesn't matter. He didn't play the game night either.
I mean, that's true. I give you that.
This is like stuff. Tim is a fraud, bro. Tim a fraud. Like just keep it a bean, because you the same when they come in here. Embiid is the MVP. Embiid. I said it first, but then as soon as something happened, it's a chink in it. I told y'all he's selfish. I told y'all that. Stop, bro. Just keep it a bean.
I'm just telling you how I feel. In a moment after the Sixers game, the way we got routed tonight, and the way we got routed on Saturday, and the way we got routed against Boston, don't feel well. Because prior to the trade, we weren't getting routed when we lost games. We would lose, but they were never routes like that. Now that we made the trade, we've been getting routed. No, we didn't. Look at all the scores. We didn't get routed at all before.
So what games we got routed after making the trade? Tell me what games we got routed?
Boston.
We didn't. Harden wasn't here when we played Boston.
It doesn't matter.
No. You said since we made the trade, we got routed.
No, I said but we did make the trade and we got routed and Hart was on the team.
So you saying what? You saying Seth is such an impact that Seth would have changed the game and keep it from getting routed? That's what you're saying.
He changed the day's game.
He didn't change the day's game. Kyrie and he was just an integral part. I mean, he was just he was a piece of the cod. He was a piece of cod that got hot. He was a piece of cod that got hot. What is Seth done for us all this time? He was here. First of all, you was killing Seth in the playoffs last year. Oh, Seth, he scored 20, gave up 30 and all this. He was doing all this hate, and all of a sudden he's so integral to the team. Come on, man, stop.
And guess what? All the people hyping about
you blamed him for us losing last year.
All the people talking about something. See, now Ben come here, it's gonna be guess what? When Ben comes in, now it's even more pressure on Ben because they winning without him. So now when he get here and he's thinking up and they start fouling him and hagging him and he missing shots.
They just won two of the last 8 games since the trade. They haven't been winning without Ben.
So that's my once again. So once again, hold up. What did you just say? What's their record?
They lost a lot. Like they won prior to the last 2 games. They was like 2-4, 2-5 after the played.
And KD's been back for about 4 or 5 games now.
And that's when they start winning. When KD got
no, they did. They lost to Celtics when KD's back, and they lost to Miami since KD's been back. So that's what this is my. So now that that's what I'm saying. This one game. Now this is one game, and the Nets are unstoppable. The Nets is unstoppable. Now they just lost to the Celtics with KD back. They just lost to Miami, but now they unstoppable. Now nothing can stop them. They go stop.
They all the way up.
It's a lot of integral parts dealing with Brooklyn. First of all, some of the games they played, they didn't have Kyrie to play with them. So now,
and they still not. They still not the man they haven't lifted.
They got an announcement tomorrow that's gonna come down saying that Kyrie.
They played the Celtics at Boston, so that means Kyrie played against Boston, right? But they lost to Boston.
They moved him.
And they lost to Boston. And they lost to Boston.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they lost to Boston. Okay. So y'all saying that this game means nothing. Y'all
I'm not saying it means nothing.
I'm saying it means nothing. I'm not saying it means nothing
because I think the Nets came out. I think the Nets came out and the Nets handled business, and they came out and they wanted to set the tone to prove a point. But even before this, the Nets was 2-1 against us this season. Even before,
and now they 3-1 against us.
Yeah.
So that means hold on. So that means they're a bad matchup for us now. Period.
They may be.
No,
they may be.
They just got hot.
I mean, they
3 times.
They beat us 3 times this season.
They beat us 3 times this year.
I don't even remember what the other games was. It was B playing. B might have missed one of the games.
Yeah,
So I
he
can't
played
even
because
remember.
KD and B was going at. They was talking trash.
I don't even.
Yeah, I
don't
know the one game KD was telling like waving bye-bye to B and then B and then we beat them the next game and B was waving bye-bye to them. So, but I mean,
Hey, PA Assassin. PA Assassin. PA Assassin. I stopped calling Seth a part of the Big Three a long time ago. I agree. I was hyped the first couple games. Remember, ever since Seth got COVID, I've been off the Seth bandwagon. So don't bring up something from a year and a half ago when you talking about now I'm hating on Seth. I've been said, listen, Seth is a good. I've been said. I think on most cases I think he's a bench player and he comes in. He's actually been playing extremely well with the Nets as of recently. Yeah. But for the most part, I think on most teams, I think he's a solid 6-man coming off the bench that could get hot and hit some threes. But I mean, listen, they did their thing. They won the game. We was off. We didn't play well. I feel bad for all them people who went down there and spent close to $1,000 or more on tickets to sit down the lower level to see that team get ran off the court like that. That's what I really feel bad for. And I'm irked as a Sixers fan, but it's one game. I'm not getting overly concerned like Ethan.
This goes to my point about I'm a little concerned. This goes to my point about Thibault and upgrading his position. When everybody love, his defense is so great, but when you need this dude to hit a open 3-pointer, he can't. This is my whole thing about that. Don't trade Thibault, whatever you do. Don't give him up. He's so great. Defense is so great. He can't hit open 3 to save his life. This is my whole thing. That's why in the NBA, you need a 3 and D dude. Thibault, if he doesn't hit a 3, you can't never start him. He can't start on the team. He's too much of a liability. Because when you get him blown out the building and you need somebody to hit a 3 to stop the bleeding, he's not the one to do it.
Nope.
He's not the one to do it. And everybody's so
trade over again
because he gets some deflections and he can stick KD. I ain't see that. Who's he sticking tonight? Who was Thibault guarding tonight that didn't score?
Nobody.
Somebody help me out.
No, I agree. But that being said, let's keep it a bean. The biggest problem was Harden and Maxey. No matter what, when we were winning, Harden and Maxey, we were talking about this big 3. Maxey had what? No, because see, we kind of gloss over it. We all wanted to anoint Maxey. He the next step, he the future of the team, and this, that, and other. Let's get Maxey had some accountability here. Maxey only had 4 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist, 1 steal, shot 2 for 7 and 0 for 2. And he played horrible defense. And he played horrible defense too.
He did. He kept jumping all over the place like he had frog in his blood.
What you say about?
He ain't been right since he went out with Harden.
He really Where's Mr. Wing at? Where's Mr. Wing at? Listen, bruh, this is my point. It was a total team letdown. It was. It really was. I can't. Every now and then,
might have been a bad
idea. Maybe, but I think.
Didn't we play a game since then, or this the first game since Miami?
No, we played the other.
We played the Bulls.
Yeah. Okay. So see this what I'm saying. I'll just miss a whole game. We just played the Bulls.
That's carryover. You got carryover.
But y'all gonna just dismiss a whole other game just to skip to the one to make the point. See, we lost. That's all I'm saying, bro. No, like, let's keep it a beat. Like Tim wants to skip. Tim wants to skip over all the teams that we beat, and then it's like, yeah, see, we lost. He going way back to like 2 weeks ago to count other teams, but dismiss the teams that we beat.
You count in Chicago, and Chicago has not beaten any teams with winning playoff records right now. They haven't beaten not one. They like 0 for 15 against playoff teams. So you're happy.
I gotta check that stat. You're throwing out felonious stats.
Who has the Timberwolves played? Has the Timberwolves beat any good teams?
I'm talking about. You said the last. I'm talking about the last game.
We beat the Timberwolves, but everybody went this Timberwolves, right?
Y'all not being honest. This was our first real threat matchup. These other teams, yeah, they Chicago, they up and coming. They ain't really got all the pieces together. Cleveland, they young.
So if
they not ready. Let me finish. Minnesota, come on, they we all know if the Nets had all their pieces, they would be a 1 or 2 in the division. This was a real test for this team. This was a measuring stick, and we failed miserably. So now what we got to do is we got to play and keep playing games until we come across another measuring stick and see how we fare. Let's be real. This was a measuring stick, and we failed.
Yeah, I agree. We dropped the ball.
I mean, we said that, but I'm not ready to say that. I'm ready not to bail on the team because they lost the one game to the Nets and talking like they still not a top team in the East.
I agree. Jay Carr said season over, no need to play anymore. Our role, and I agree with that. Y'all boys.
I agree with you. I agree with you, man. Season
he's rolling his eyes, saying, "Please, y'all boys panicking. Stop the cap right now." And listen, ultimately, as soon as we go on another 4 to 5 game winning streak, you and Ethan will be back on here. Yeah, I told y'all the trade was going to be. Yes, y'all are. Yes, you are.
We going to smack them around. Everybody's going to be like, "Oh, we so great," and we smacked around Orlando, who's the worst team in the division. So this Orlando game, I might not even watch. That's how I feel.
I might not either. So what happens if we beat? So what happens if we smack the Bucks around?
When do we play?
It's coming up because they're on the schedule.
You throwing these teams around. What's the schedule?
The next big game is Denver on Monday. Somebody said the next big game is Denver. Who said that? Phil Evans. He said Nuggets on Monday is the next big game.
That's the game I want to say.
Be against Joker. Nemesis.
See, this is why you a fraud. You a legit fraud because you the first ball. Oh no, to be the MVP, and then the first ball in the hand. That's why I said you're not really a Sixers fan. I'm seeing your true colors. Y'all should have seen him before we logged on to do this joint live. Tim was smiling like a Chester cat. He was grinning from ear to ear. You saw his molars in the back. He was smiling so hard. I'm telling y'all, Tim is cat.
So let me ask this. Right? So the upcoming schedule, okay, the Magic, we know we not worried about that. So the Nets game don't. So the Nuggets game don't mean what you say? What you say, Ethan?
No, we said Denver's a measuring stick. We said that.
So all right, so the Nuggets is a measuring stick. And the Cavs, y'all said the Cavs don't count no matter what their record is. So then the Mavs who just beat us a couple weeks ago when we played them, does that matter?
Yeah.
Who beat the Mavericks? Beat us?
Yeah, remember when Luka went off on it? Didn't Luka go off on us? And we was talking about how Ben usually stops Luka and everything else. They beat us, right?
Game? Yeah, he played.
Yeah, he played.
That's okay.
So the Mavs. Then we played the Raptors. We all talking about how the Raptors play us so tough. And then we got the Heat. The Lakers don't mean that. Nobody. But see, that's what I'm saying.
That Miami game, I'm interested.
Okay.
10 minutes advertising the Sixers.
So the Nuggets and the Heat are the only games that count. That's coming up there.
They're not the games that count, but we understand. Let's be honest.
I agree with you.
We understand some games are measuring stick games. Let's not act like that's not what it is.
And some games is clunkers.
Yes.
Do y'all remember when James Harden originally quit on the Nets? He came and they was like he was doing one-on-one drills with Kyrie and Kyrie was eating him up. And he got mad, and that's when he quit on the team.
They did say that.
That's kind of what happened tonight.
Who's they? Who told you? Who y'all get these sources? Y'all talking about these felonious? They did say that. Tim come with the most felonious sources of all time. First of all, fact check everything Tim says. Y'all know this already. And Ethan, you 50-50. That's why I scream black.
Listen, I heard this source from inside the Nets organization.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
It didn't tell you that.
A source inside the organization. It was one of
I wish I was making it up, but I'm not.
Okay. Yeah,
listen. It was a janitor that works in the Nets organization.
Sergeant Bass, I agree with you. Regular season don't matter. Only thing matters is the playoffs. We get in the playoffs. That's the only thing I care. If Nets make it. The Nets still in a bubble. They still got to play in the playing game, but both their playing games might be on the road. Might be at home. So Kyrie might not be able to play.
They might be 6th seed by the time the season over. They keep playing like this.
Exactly.
And they might be 9th if they keep losing like they played against the Celtics in Miami.
Hold on. If they keep playing like what? Because Tim just told us how many games they lost in their last whatever. So if they keep playing like that, are they going to make it in the play-in?
They won their last
playing
two.
Like they played tonight.
Well, Kyrie only plays like 4 more games this season if the mandate stands.
But it's going to be listed tomorrow.
Okay. Who told you that?
Okay. Did Twana tell you that?
I got inside sources.
Okay. Let's see. I'm frustrated. This game had me hot though, but
hey, Herb, I agree, and somebody else mentioned it too. Kyrie played excellent defense on Harden tonight. He did. And when he did get too deep in there, they got help. Harden looked like he was looking for that bailout call.
Yeah,
whatever. He looked old. Honestly, Harden looked old tonight, and I didn't like seeing him sit on the side, and all of a sudden they want to be putting a heat pad on his calf. I don't want to hear all that now. You ain't had no heat pad on your calf. You know what I'm saying?
Yesterday he was running up the steps. Remember after the game he was running up the steps.
He do that. Bro, he do that all the time. He been doing that his whole career, working out after the game.
Was he working out the game tonight?
Harden did get strapped. Somebody said, would y'all pick Kyrie over Harden if the mandate wasn't a thing?
Yep.
Yes.
I mean, he's younger.
This discussion already.
I always say yes.
I still think Harden's a better passer.
He's a better passer.
But if he passes the people that's putting up bricks, it don't matter. Give me.
Now.
So how many games he's putting up bricks though? You saying about him putting up bricks?
He said if he's passing the people who's putting up bricks, it don't matter.
Well,
how many assists did he have tonight?
He had 6, 5, or 6.
He even passed the ball to the Nets a couple times.
I mean, balls wasn't hitting. We actually had open look. This was irritating about this game. It wasn't like I seen games we played like Boston. Boston plays great defense. I mean, when we played Boston, we could barely get a shot off against Boston. That wasn't the case tonight. We had open looks. Thibault had looks. Niang had looks. Toby, he always got looks. And they was missing. Harden had open looks. Even a couple times when I mean, he started Toby a nut though. That was deceptive because he started hitting and after we was getting whacked. So
he wasn't putting no shots up early on. So I mean, that's what I'm saying. To me, bro, it comes down to Harden shot horrible. Harden cannot shoot the same way we want to talk about Toby getting all that money. He got to play better. Harden is supposed to be. We talked about him being one of the top 75 and the top player in the league and playing on the MVP level in recent past. This falls on Harden. Harden has to play better. No, you give Harden all the praises with the position and get everybody in the game and everything else. But it falls on Harden.
At the start of the this is what I mean about Doc and coaching and what's going on with this team. What the first shot was we took in the third quarter? Was a deep three by James Harden. Like what the heck was that?
Yeah,
that was a terrible. He was already off, and he shoots a Steph Curry three. Like, come on, man!
He was trying to shoot it. He was trying to shoot himself back into the game.
It's a lot of people that said that Harden don't show up in the playoffs, and this was a playoff like atmosphere. They said the energy level was on like 100. Everybody was hyped. Ben was in the building. I mean, Ben is down as a second though. We ain't really talk about Ben being in the building because of the way we played.
Because it don't matter. What do him being in the building got to do with the game?
Yeah, just because you getting excited and gushing because you saw Ben. Nobody cares. He's a bum.
You cared. Everybody.
Why I care? I didn't mention Ben yet.
The show was Ben Simmons. He bought the show. The reason why everybody's paying $4,000 for a ticket, it wasn't because it was the Nets. It was because Ben was coming home. It was like the return of Ben Simmons. Now, after
they booed him, nobody cared about him.
The reason why, because we started getting routed. It wasn't because
they wouldn't care either way. Truth be told, once they paid their tickets and everybody booed Ben, that was it. But even if we won, nobody would have cared less about Ben being in the game. At this point, they just want to see us either win or not lose, but they want to see us play the game. Nobody cared.
The Nets came in and played at a playoff level basketball, inspired level basketball. They had a point to prove, and the Sixers didn't match their energy.
And that happens often. That happens often.
Tim was hyped. Tim was hype about Ben. He was so ecstatic. You should have seen him after they won. When we logged in here, Tim was excited that they won for Ben, and he didn't even play. This was the crazy part. He's so enamored over Ben that he hyped that they won, and he on the bench.
I'm a KD fan. I'm a Kyrie fan, and I'm a Ben Simmons fan. I don't.
You're a Nets fan, basically. You're a Nets fan.
No, I'm a Sixer fan at heart first.
You name like 8 players off the Nets.
But you consistently rip Embiid and other Sixers, but I'm a KD fan, I'm a Kyrie fan, I'm a Ben fan. So you're a Nets fan.
No.
Yeah. Who you a fan of on the Sixers? Who you a fan of on the Sixers? Who you a fan of on the Sixers? Exactly.
There we
exactly.
Go. There we go.
I'm joking.
There we go.
You know my young boy. You know the young boy Maxie is my homie. You know
to say the least, though, I agree with somebody. This was an embarrassing loss. Even though I'm only saying it was one game and all that, it's still embarrassing. It had me so irked. I checked out by the fourth quarter. I had to go downstairs and hit some weights because that joint was irritating me. I had to get out some frustration before I came. I think that's why I'm a little bit more calm than some of y'all in here because it's outside of Tim because Tim excited that they won. But outside of some of y'all in here who got a lot of anger and vitriol, I just had to pump some iron and let it just to ease my mind a little bit because that joint had me steaming for a minute.
I was so angry too, yo. I couldn't. I almost lost it.
Now, Edward,
Wayne, don't even say that. Just let him stay in his foolishness for a minute. Let Tim remain in his cat for a minute because he irritated me because he know he excited that they won.
Yeah, Edward Will made a point to saying, and it's kind of along the lines of what Ethan says about a guard. He says, bottom line, no team playing through a center will ever win. What makes you say that? Like, and this is my problem when people say stuff like that. Why? Because are you talking about a typical center who's just stands in the paint and that's all he can do? Or are we talking about a big man that can actually, you know what I'm saying, make moves from outside, take people off the dribble and everything else? This ain't about Embiid. Like the loss we took is not about Embiid. It's about the other guys being able to shoot. If they can shoot, because if they can shoot, you get open. That's why they said the whole thing about you need to build a team around Embiid of guys who can shoot from outside. You know what I'm saying? Did Embiid have a great night? No. But
here's why
who was
saying that though?
What'd you say?
Here's why he may be the point that he might be making. You really the center position, even though Embiid is this great, he can do a lot of things on the basketball court. A guard can create their own shot. They can get their shot off fast. Like Embiid doesn't get a shot off fast. He's a thinker. Can he create his own shot? What is that?
Can he create his own shot?
He can do isolation plays, but
he can't create his own shot. He don't bring the ball up court and take somebody off.
The way basketball is now, you got to be quick. You got to be reactive. You got to score like quickly. He's not a quick scorer. He can score, but he's not a quick scorer.
I mean, well, guess what? Everybody wants to talk about this guard league. We'll go through it again. How many guards have led teams to championships in recent history?
Yeah,
Seth, right?
Yeah, Seth.
But some people want to say that KD, because KD was the MVP.
Well, Seth did win the first championship without KD. Let's keep that in mind. Let's not act like
he did.
Let's act like they started winning once KD got there.
Oh no. I'm giving Steph his props. But my thing is, we talk about Kawhi, LeBron, Giannis. So we talking about small forward. We're talking about forward. We're not talking about guard. Everybody wants to talk about this guard-driven league. It's the forward. It's these forwards that are winning. And I get it, Embiid's a center, but don't sit here and tell me about this guard-driven league when you have big men and wingmen who are being the difference in the games.
Yeah, Steph the only guard in the last 10 years whose team actually probably won a championship. And then after that, you got to go back to Kobe probably before to talk about actually a guard, winning the championship. But, I mean, listen, you could win if you got a good team. To me, that's what it is. I don't care what position your best player is. If you got a good team around them, like Milwaukee did last year with Giannis, you can win a championship. Now, Golden State kind of hijacked a couple championships. Once KD won, there's a 73-19. KD goes to Golden State. Everybody knew what was going to happen. That was a hijacked championship, you ask me. But nonetheless, they won it. But my thing is, if you got a good team, you win championships. Just like Lakers when they won in the bubble, they had AD and LeBron. They had two of the biggest bulls on the court, and they bullied everybody and won a championship in the bubble. So, to me, it's just why. Right, and right now we got to see if we good enough with Harden, B, and Maxey to win a championship. Truth be told, I think the Suns are going to win a championship. I don't care who face them. Even if we face them, I'm rooting for the Sixers, but I think Suns win the championship there this year. I don't think Golden State is going to be able to recoup enough with Draymond come back and get Clay up to speed enough because Wiseman, they big men not coming back. I don't think they're going to be big enough to beat the Suns. So
to the point that y'all was making that the small forward position is pretty much the ideal situation for a championship run.
Now I'm saying the team is the ideal championship for a recipe for a championship run. Ideal team.
Yeah, I think it has a whole lot to do with it. It has everything to do with a team. That's why when we get to talk about players, when we compare players, like, well, he got 5 chips, and what was the team that he was on? A chip is a team accomplishment. So, and that being said, people that want to say, well, what big men have won? What big men have been as good as Embiid or Joker? For even Joker, if he had better if Murray's not hurt every year, who's to say what they will be doing over there in the West? when they had both of them, they were sitting there, they was beating all kind of game sevens and making a run in the playoffs. So if you're telling me, so you telling me with Joker and Murray and say if the other bull Porter Jr. his back not broken and everything, you telling me if Joker had better players around him, he couldn't be making noise and making a run? That's what I'm saying. I agree with Ephraim. It's about a team. You're talking about this. I get what y'all saying, but I don't, because like I said, the only guard that been like that is Steph Curry. What guard driven team has been winning these championships?
No, I agree. I mean, first of all, every so often a player comes around that you could build around and win a championship, and he's just that good. Just like Shaq. Remember when Shaq came into the league, it wasn't necessarily a big man league. Jordan just won 6 championships. Everybody was looking for the next Michael Jordan. Shaq came in, and you paired him with a great guard in Kobe Bryant, and Shaq was the most dominant player on that team, and they won. So you get a good player, no matter what position he is, you get the best player you could get, and you build around him, and you try to win a championship. Whether he's a guard, center, power forward, small forward, shooting guard, whatever, and you just build a good team and you win.
A Fear XL said, "Is it only me, or I feel like Ben liked the attention in the atmosphere?" He did. You know what Ben looked like tonight? Ben looked like the girl that sit on the sideline, like she started fighting, then her boyfriend come in and beat the Bulls up, and he like, takes care of her. Do it. See? That's what Ben was like. He was the girl that started the fight and then sat on the sideline and watched while her brothers and boyfriend like beat the other dudes up. And it was like, I told y'all, don't talk trash to me.
That's actually
look. He walking out with a win with his team.
That's a very good analogy.
Until he get on the court and then lose with the court.
Dang, I'm about to have a terrible night. Denver look like they trying to blow Golden State out the water.
Good.
No, this is about to be.
Denver won't win. Denver not going to win because they got to. They
you tried to blame me.
Denver driven by a big man. They not going to win.
You tried to hate on me because I kind of enjoy watching the Brooklyn Nets. But you root for 2 teams, your doggone self.
I never would enjoy watching Golden State.
You just said you enjoyed watching the Brooklyn Nets as they played.
You enjoy watching them beat the Sixers. I would never enjoy Golden State beating the Sixers.
I said I enjoyed watching the Brooklyn Nets. That's all I said.
No, you enjoyed them beating the Sixers. That was the problem. You was in here giddy after they won the game.
I was giddy. Very disappointed with the loss. More importantly, I was disappointed with the way we played.
Edward, Will, Shaq was 25 years ago, and Giannis was last year. So Giannis was a power forward or center. He could play power forward or center at any given time. Sometimes Lopez plays, sometimes he plays. So he's the best player in the court. What you do is you get the best player that you can and you build around him. That's all you do to win championships. It's not no secret sauce. It's not no I need a shooting guard. This was wrong when people get caught in these mindsets sometimes. You think, I need to go get this specific. I need a prototype Jordan. I need a prototype Kobe. You just get the best player. That's why people passed up on Seth Curry. Some people saying Seth Curry probably should have went number 1. I guarantee you now, wish they'd have picked Steph Curry over Blake. I bet you that. But everybody had this mindset, he's big, he could dunk, he could jump over everybody. Let's get him. We're gonna build our team. Okay, yeah, Golden State pick Steph Curry and they end up winning the championship and several championships. And always
wait.
But this is my point.
So Steph Curry and Blake was drafted the same year?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yo, you know how crazy that is? It looked like Blake is like he looked like he's like 50 years old. And meanwhile,
I think
that's why you got to draft. That's why you got to draft right. It ain't about where you draft necessarily.
Harden was in that draft too.
Yeah, but Harden's still balling too. He just had a bad night tonight. But Blake Griffin is like a afterthought in the league right now. You talking about other dudes that was drafted that year that's still considered top players in the game.
Yeah,
you would think Blake is on. You would think Blake got drafted with LeBron. That's how he on. So I got to address him again. So the 3-point shot is what wins the chip. Last year, I swear Phoenix had a nice 3-point shooting team, didn't they? Wasn't Phoenix a nice shooting team? But they lost to the Bucks, who was led by Giannis.
But led by a good 3-point shooting. That team got hot.
No. They were led by Giannis.
Giannis still had help. He obviously closed out the game, but Middleton balled out last year. Bobby Porter Jr. he balled out with them for them. Their guard Drew Holiday, they always hit and they had good. You need
good shooters, but it's not The Lakers wasn't one of the best 3-point shooting
Man,
teams.
Giannis averaged 35 points a game last. Don't tell me about what everybody. Giannis averaged 35 points a game
They still
last
had good
final.
3-point shooting on their team.
Giannis took the
Yeah,
game over.
35 points a game without a 3-point shot and with a suspect foul shot. He averaged 35 points a game and won the finals and finals MVP.
And yet and still, they had a nice 3-point shooting throughout the entire series, which is why they ended up winning the championship. But listen,
They won because of Giannis. When Giannis wasn't playing, they lost. And then when Giannis came back, they won. It was like Debo. When Debo around, I get quiet. When he come back, when Debo here, I get quiet. When he leave, I speak again. That's what it was like with Giannis. When Giannis played, they got quiet.
I do agree. Hilltop Hustle, you got to have team chemistry. I agree. This is why though. But this is my point. This was my point. And I'm not saying the season over by no means, but this is why I wanted Sixers to make a trade for Ben early, because whoever we got, we could have built team chemistry throughout the year. So now we against the clock now. We trying to build chemistry in 20-something games. So can it happen? Yeah, it's possible. I mean, you got Harden, who a veteran, he can adapt and play pretty well. And I don't foresee him having another game this bad for the rest of the year. But team chemistry is very important. The earlier you make them trades, the longer you got to get your team together on the same page. But I still think we can do it. I'm good.
So let me ask you this then. Do we have enough offense to win when team strap Embiid? Do we have enough offense to play the teams like the Miamis and the Bostons and the Brooklyn Nets? When team strap, when they do decide to go hard and strap Embiid, can we win it all?
Yeah, I think he's going to win it all. I don't think Harden's going to have another bad game like this, and I don't think Max is going to play this passive. I was really upset with how passive Maxey played. He passed the ball. He was looking at Harden a little too much for my life.
That happened when he wasn't clicking right away. I think he got a shot 8, and I think he turned the ball over.
And he shot that air ball 3. It's like a 3 that was almost like an air, like barely grazed the rim.
Click, and it was like a Ben Simmons click or something in his head. Just was like fuming. He was like, I just want to pass. Like the moment was too big for him today.
No, he was off. I mean, his shot was off.
I think it was the moment. I really believe the moment was too big for him.
Maybe, but if it was, I'm glad it happened now. I'm glad you got that playoff atmosphere, that feeling, so now you can get comfortable with it, and it won't come as a shock to your system when we actually get into the playoffs. So these big games for him is going to be huge. I feel coming down the stretch when we play against Milwaukee again, all these teams that we're going to be fighting for the number 1 and number 2 seed and for position. These games are going to be huge for him. So.
The national media is going to be all over the Brooklyn tomorrow. They're going to be joining them up. They're going to be talking about how they the team to beat. It's a wrap.
Hey, Kaiser, but I think that's why I think the Sixers are looking to get Bradley Beal. I said this earlier, like a few weeks ago. I think that's why the Sixers wanted to get a move this early, or this year, and not wait in the offseason, because they have Harden booked in, and I think they want to go for another big-time free agent in the offseason. I think they're going to try to get rid of Toby and get rid of that contract and bring another free agent in. And I think Bradley Beal is one of those ones. Either I would like Bradley Beal or Levine, because I think Chicago Levine might be available.
Do we still feel Eastern Conference Finals or bust?
Yes.
I do. Yeah,
I do.
Yeah.
Herb, I do feel chemistry is an issue. For one of the reasons I don't think we have as much movement in our offense is because of chemistry. A lot of times you get more movement in your offense, and you get the ball moving a little bit more fluently on cuts because you have that type of chemistry. You know what somebody's going to do. You already almost prepared for them to do it before they even do it. Type situation. So when you don't have that type of continuity, sometimes you see the ball get stagnant. You see people play more one-on-one basketball, which kind of happened tonight. So especially when you're playing against a better team, a team that's playing motivated. So I think chemistry does have a lot to do with it. And we didn't. First of all, nobody. What cracks me up, everybody talking about shooting now tonight. Nobody was complaining when Maxey was shooting 70% from 3. When Niang was clicking. When Danny Green was clicking. Nobody was complaining about shooting now. Now, we need shooting. Our shooters who've been shooting well didn't shoot good tonight. That's the main thing that happened. Thibault's been actually shooting the ball extremely well since Harden got here. He fell off the side of the earth. Niang didn't shoot well until he was getting blown out, and Maxey didn't shoot well at all. And then Harden was off because Harden's been shooting pretty decent since he's been here from the 3 and all that. So we just had an off night. That's all. I ain't worried about it too much.
So are you giving does Harden still get that $200 million contract from you?
No. All that being said, no. I mean, but can you really, if you're trying to get B, can you really, I mean, can we give him that type money? Who we going to have the bench? Is it going to be them 3 out there and DeAndre Jordan? Is it going to be?
Well, I don't know if they can give him that much. I don't know how that works, but if they're saying they want to get another big time free agent out there, I swore it was something in there saying that Harden might take a little bit less to bring in another big time free agent, but we'll see. I mean, if they're saying they really want to bring in another big time free agent, I don't know if they can give Harden that money. But you also looking at Maxey still on his rookie contract. You know what I'm saying? Bede is already signed. So, I mean, even if we talk about like filling out the roster, like Ephraim has always said, he talked about Oubre. You know what I'm saying? Instead of Danny Green, like it's certain plays. Like if we can make certain, we got guys on this roster where they're just not doing anything.
That was actually pretty funny.
Who posted that? Tim, you?
Bleacher Report.
I'm telling you, Tim is
everybody. It's funny because everybody really is hating on Harden with the 6. Like I was in another chat. I'm in the chat that I'm in, and it's like a lot of guys from like down south, like Alabama and all this other stuff. And they was it's like everybody real giddy and want the Sixers to lose so bad because Harden went there. It's cool. It's cool. We gonna see how it work out in the long run.
Yep, I agree. Saturday night, regroup. We'll beat Orlando. Then we'll beat the Denver Nuggets, who actually about to beat Golden State. They're about 10 down. But Golden State's still coming. We'll see what happens.
You got any final thoughts before we got this piece?
No, Harden better play. I tell you this. Harden better not have another game like this against one of them big teams because my tone is going to change completely. If he go out there and he have another 3 for 17 performance, it's going to be a whole heap of trouble.
I give him a mulligan on this one, but you're right. Like, all right.
That's the same. I got foresight. I'm way past. I seen.
Yeah. Shut up.
You had foresight with Ben. You told us 2 years ago Ben was going to be LeBron. So
Ben about to turn into LeBron.
Your foresight is mere sight.
When he's hoisting that Larry O'Brien trophy.
They not. I'm not concerned about that.
He gonna drop it. He gonna pass
it like
He gonna pass it off real quick. Take this cycle.
Hey, y'all, tell us what you think. Please leave a comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification button. We're going to see you on our next podcast. We out.